while we are not aware of the full ramifications of Allah's protection. A lot of things are designed like an immune system. So we have an immunity physically where our body is designed like a warriors within our body called the immune system, where there are soldiers that are really protecting us from illnesses or diseases. But we also have, you could say, an immune system on higher levels where there are things that's protecting us mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Because Allah tells us in the Quran, throughout my creation are instructing signs for those who believe. So we have to again thank Allah for His grace and for His mercy in protecting us when we don't even know that Allah is protecting us on levels that we have no idea of the degrees of Satan's influence. But nevertheless, Allah's mercy and grace is there. So, again, the topic is, it's like a smorgasbord. When you go to a dinner in a restaurant and you're dining where you have various foods where you choose what you want. And so that's pretty much where we are in this creation, where we can select various sources of, let's say, mental food, spiritual food. So we know when we're in a restaurant, what's it called? Smorgasbord. I just asked that because a lot of people are sleepy. But that's okay.
Okay. Okay.
No, you're not the only one. So don't tell on yourself. But that's okay. You know. But you know, when you at a dinner or at a restaurant rather, that have those variations of food, then you are in charge on what you eat. It's not a set menu. And that's the way it is in life. It's not a set menu. That's where the power of choice comes in again. So, you know, from a physical point of view, if we select wrong foods, and when I'm saying wrong foods, we're talking about foods that are not designed for human consumption, then the outcome of that selection is going to be sickness, an illness. It could cause constipation, it could cause headaches. You know, the body is not in tune to what the selections are. That's from a physical point. But likewise mentally, and spiritually, and emotionally. If we select the wrong foods from the social and cultural environment, because again, we have to keep in mind that we are products of the social and cultural environment. So we do have some say-so on what we eat, because we are what we eat. Some things is in the diet that we're not aware of the dangers of it, because that's the slick subtleness of Satan, where things are supplanted in the menu of the social and cultural environment. May I understand? And so, since we are not fully aware of all the variations of the diet and the social and cultural environment, then we could be eating mentally, spiritually, and emotionally things that are going to cause us harm. And there are repercussions for that. For that intake of a diet that's unhealthy. Unhealthy diets. From a spiritual, mental, and emotional point of view. So we're going to be ill. And that's what you see the effects in individual lives, in families, and communities, irregardless of their religious affiliation, irregardless of their nationalities, irregardless of their ethnicity, their gender, their social and economic status. We see people who are ill. So it goes across the board. Satan goes after everybody. That's a forbidden tree. So that is a huge blessing just to have this kind of information that is being shared right now. That's a huge blessing. Because a lot of people are mentally asleep, spiritually asleep, or mentally drunk, spiritually drunk, and emotionally drunk, where they're staggering and they're not focused. And you know, a person that's physically drunk, that person is in danger. He's more or she's more apt to have an accident. And sometimes those accidents from that drunkenness can be fatal. A lot of people admit that when these are people who have been accused or convicted of a crime, a physical crime, they admit that they were intoxicated at the time of the crime. They admit that. They were not in their right mind. And so it is an extreme advantage just to be in your right mind. That's a huge blessing, just to be in your right mind. Allah suggests things from, because Allah is a directive. You want to define who is Allah. Allah is a director. Allah suggests. Allah recommends. You know, a lot of people don't even know how to define Allah, or Jehovah, or Yahweh, or Dios, or DR, depending on what language you're speaking, because all that means the creator of the heavens and the earth. But many people don't understand that Allah is a recommender. He recommends. Allah suggests. Allah doesn't force. Allah is most merciful, right? But He's not forceful in the sense that He doesn't allow us to have freedom of choice. Allah still leaves that up to us with freedom of choice. But for everything in creation, there are consequences for our freedom of choice. The consequences are going to either be negative or positive. Again, that's the importance and the power of understanding that everything in creation has a duality. So consequences are also going to fall into positives or negatives. At the suggestion, recommendation of Allah. But Satan also goes under that description, where Satan invites. He also suggests. And Allah tells us to always seek refuge with Him. Allah tells us that. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Seek refuge with Allah. So that's something we should always do, because we can't see all the dimensions of of Satan. We can't see it.